15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time, that time of the week where I give you your quick fix. And I'm glad that you're back. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much for stopping by and listening to this episode. Please don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe. And today I'm talking about the empathy double standard and why leaders bleed for teams that won't bleed back. And as with everything in life, it is a two-way street. And very often I see in coaching engagements and when teams are involved that there is a lot of empathy demanded, but when it comes to the flip side of the coin, there is not much give back. So today I want to address that with this episode. So here's something outrageous that I want to share with you. Empathy in leadership is the most abused, one-sided deal in the workplace. And I see that over and over again. Leaders are told, have empathy for your staff, understand their challenges, carry their emotional weight. And often they do. They listen, they absorb stress, they bend deadlines, they fight for benefits. But where's the empathy backward? Where is the empathy for the leader who's carrying organizational pressure, balancing shareholder expectations, legal obligations, payroll anxiety, and the lonely weight of being responsible for everyone? And the same applies to entrepreneurs that have one or two or three people. You grind every day, hours over hours, but what do you get back in return? So in this episode, it's about the empathy double standard, because if empathy only flows upward, the organization collapses under its own hypocrisy. That's as simple as it is. I'm giving you that as a fact. So what's the problem here? The modern narrative has made empathy in leadership almost synonymous with weakness, unless it's directed downward. Staff expect leaders to make allowances for personal struggles, which is something that you most probably hear many, many times during the day, during the week. Provide psychological safety always. Absorb frustration, criticism, and pushback gracefully. But leaders often get none of that in return. Instead, their tough calls are judged without context. Their failures are exaggerated while their sacrifices go unseen. Their humanity gets erased by their title. The problem here, we want leaders to be endlessly empathetic without staff ever being empathetic toward the leader. The organizational goals or the bigger picture, that's not empathy, it's entitlement. So what's the cost and consequences here? Why does everyone bleed here? Here's what happens when empathy is one-sided. Leaders burn out. They give and give until they're empty because no one sees their needs as legitimate. And teams grow entitled. They expect empathy as a right without offering commitment or sacrifice in return, and that's an important one. Organizational trust erodes. When empathy becomes extraction, you owe me, but I owe you nothing. The bond between staff and leadership breaks. Performance suffers if leaders are constantly cushioning staff, but staff never reciprocates. The organization weakens, innovation slows, and accountability vanishes. So let me share the truth with you, tribe. Empathy without reciprocity is exploitation. And let me give you a 5-step framework as per usual that you can implement immediately with clear action steps. Step number 1, redefine empathy as a two-way contract. Empathy is not a leader's endless resource. It's a shared responsibilities. Leaders do have to care about staff well-being, yes, but staff must also care about organizational health, leadership challenges, and the bigger mission. That's an important one here. What action can you take? Leaders should openly say, empathy is mutual. I will listen to your struggles and I ask that you understand mine too. Step number 2, expose the invisible weight of leadership. Most staff don't see the hidden load leaders carry. Payroll, compliance, strategy, reputation. Make it visible. Transparency builds reciprocal empathy. What action can you take here? Once a month, share one leadership decision, the hidden pressure behind it, and why it matters. Number 3, build empathy loops. Don't let empathy flow one direction. Create systems where staff reflect back what they understand about leadership decisions. An action that you can take here in meetings after sharing a challenge, ask, what's your understanding of the weight of this decision on leadership and the organization? When you do these things, you also show your younger leaders how they can grow, how they can move upwards, and what they have to do later when they are in the same position. Step number 4, tie empathy to goals. Empathy must serve progress, not just comfort. It means understanding why certain sacrifices are necessary. An action that you can take here links staff empathy to the mission. When you give empathy to this decision, you are helping the organization achieve X, which sustains your job long term. That's a point that you can make. Step number 5, normalize empathy upward. Make it part of culture. Staff are expected to extend empathy to leaders, not blind loyalty, empathy, understanding the pressure before critiquing decisions. An action that you can take here include organizational empathy as a core cultural principle. Care about each other and the people carrying the heaviest weight. So what's the deeper meaning here? Why does this matter? Empathy is not charity. It's not a luxury item a leader doles out endlessly. It's the connective tissue of trust, and trust is mutual or it's meaningless. If staff want empathetic leaders, they must also show empathy to leadership and to the mission. Otherwise, empathy becomes manipulation, leaders giving endlessly while teams extract without giving back. The real insight here, leadership without empathy is tyranny, but staff without empathy is sabotage. Look at Satya Nadella, transformed Microsoft by modeling empathy, but he also demanded that staff empathize with the company's direction, long-term goals, and customer needs. Empathy wasn't free, it was reciprocal. A client of mine, a divisional head, found himself burning out from being the empathetic leader. His team never extended empathy upward. We restructured culture around empathy loops. Every time he shared a leadership challenge, staff reflected back their understanding before weighing in. Within a quarter, engagement rose because staff saw the leader's humanity and the organization's weight. And that's an important one. You need to implement that. Let me give you some advanced strategies here. Empathy economics. Think of empathy as currency. If staff only withdraw and never deposit, the account empties. Require deposits of empathy towards leadership decisions as part of cultural norms. The pre-mortem empathy. Before launching initiatives, have teams imagine the leadership pressure involved in execution. This trains reciprocal perspective, and it will train your young leaders as well. Cortisol versus oxytocin balance. Neuroscience shows that leaders under constant stress release cortisol, which destroys clarity and creativity. Reciprocal empathy, staff showing understanding of leadership burdens, creates oxytocin, building trust and resilience across the system. So these 3 things, watch them, put them into place, create systems for them. Let me give you your weekly challenge for immediate implementation. This week, leaders, share one invisible leadership burden with your team. Ask them directly, what's your empathy response to this pressure? Then challenge staff. Extend empathy not just to you, but to the organizational mission. And for the staff, before criticizing leadership, ask, what pressure might they be facing I don't see? Write down one way you can actively support the bigger picture this week. And that's it. Quick one, powerful one, and my call to action for you. If this episode flipped how you think about empathy, share it. Most people believe empathy is a one-way street. This conversation proves it isn't. So subscribe, leave a review, and let's redefine leadership culture together. If you liked it, take the podcast episode link, copy it, paste it into WhatsApp, Messenger, TikTok, wherever you communicate. And that's the way that you can help me grow and get this episode out there to more people. I would like to grow the tribe. Every single member that comes on board is another person where we can help to change how they do business and life. And as per usual, thank you to our sponsor, Doc Marty Mushrooms. Just as empathy must nourish both leader and team, Doc Marty fuels resilience for both mind and body. His work is about reciprocity, nature giving us vitally and us choosing vitality daily. So visit docmarty.com, and if you use the code DAN20, DAN20, you will get a 25% discount on your first purchase, which is amazing. Marty has amazing products and also for kids. Check it out and also let me know what you think about it. And as we nailed this quickly, I want to leave you with one thought for the week. Empathy without reciprocity is exploitation. Leaders cannot endlessly bleed for teams that won't bleed back. The future belongs to organizations where empathy flows both ways, where leaders and staff see each other's humanity, share the weight, and carry the mission together. So if you can get that culture right, you will make a huge change and shift in the culture of your organization or your little business that you are running. It doesn't matter. These things are applied everywhere. You can use this for your relationships, for your peers, for your friendships. It doesn't matter. Empathy always goes both ways. So that was it. I hope that you had a fantastic time. I had a fantastic time with you. This was Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on The Success Blueprint, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care and bye.